Hello and welcome to the 2023 Masters Disc Golf World Championships, presented by MVP. This is a PDGA Major, and this coverage is brought to you by Ace Run Pro. My name is Holly Finley.
And I'm Jennifer Allen. Welcome, everybody.
And these ladies will be playing the Little America Crew Course in Flagstaff, Arizona today.
This is the start of round 2. We have OhnScoggins at 12 under, Stephanie Vincent from Texas at 9 under, Holly Finley at 12, and SandiHendel at 9 down.
Hole 1, a 272-foot par 3. The basket is on the right side. If you're good at shot shaping, you can try to get it into circle 1 for a birdie. However, you're welcome to just throw straight, which will also put you on the outside of circle 1 and get yourself a birdie look. Today was about 10 miles an hour wind, so practice days I had were no wind at all.
Which is really surprising here because we typically get a lot of wind.
Coming from Los Angeles, California, we have Miss OhnScoggins.
Own with a strong start over at Tut Hill. This course is going to be quite a bit different than Tut. The lava rocks, definitely you're going to see a lot less sand.
And Own often plays a very low game, so
I was really wondering if this was going to affect her. And she loves to really flare that out, and there's not room here. So I was curious to see how she played this.
Stephanie Vincent on Team Mint discs.
And she doesn't throw a lot of forehands, so you're going to see her work the disc or just throw a lot of straight shots, and that was beautifully done.
Look at this.
Ooh, long.
Smokes past the basket.
Yeah, we have to tone it down a little bit on these courses, quite a few shorter holes.
And there is no out of bounds here.
Finley.
We're about 7,000 feet, a little bit above 7,000 feet elevation here. So you're going to have the discs tend to hyzer out, be a little more stable than usual.
Coming from St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada, we have Miss SandiHendel.
Quite a few lefties here in our group of women. I believe I played with 2 lefties today. So a lot of these holes do play very well for that type of a throw.
Sandy inside the circle, but first up Own from circle 2.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of this lava rock all over the course.
Stephanie Vincent from about 50 feet. Just a soft putter layup for her. I decided on a layup as well. I'll play for par.
No reason to run at that, huh?
A little windy and no point in going for 50-footers on hole 1. Sandy, however, gives it a strong bid.
I find that the putts drop a little bit faster here at elevation, and the winds tend to shift, and you get quite a few air pockets as well. So sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get.
You're right about that. It's very shifty. It can be one thing on the tee, something else in the middle of the fairway, and entirely different near the basket. And then it might change while the time it's your turn to tee off.
That is true. Hole 2 here, we have 310 feet. This is a very tight tunneled shot, straight downhill, par 3. Basically, you see it right there. Try to hit that gap. You can hyzer off early and still have a look at the basket, but you want to try to keep it as straight as possible and try to avoid as many trees as you can. Again, no OB on this hole. We only have, I think there's 4 holes out here with some OB.
First up, OhnScoggins.
That's perfect. And maybe a skip. You never know with skips out here. They're very rare. I actually saw quite a few rollaways, and that's something I don't tend to see up here. Looks like a little bit of a tailwind, maybe a little bit of right to left as well. That looked flippy. Hyzered, it straightened out for you. You could tell you let it go with a little bit of hyzer. That was a beautiful shot. Roadrunner?
A Mako.
Oh.
The Roadrunner was going a bit long because
Yep.
it was downhill.
Very much so. Sandy gets caught up on some high branches there.
Stephanie Vincent looking to get it under the basket and take a par. And she gets caught up on the way there. It's going to be a long par putt for Stephanie. And SandiHendel is actually a nice, I don't know, it's like a conservative aggressive. She goes for long putts, but it's very controlled.
Sandy's played for a long time. Great player up north. Comes down to Vegas quite a bit.
OhnScoggins for birdie.
Good pull. Kept her close. Beautiful putt. These disc catchers do a pretty good job of catching most all the putts, no matter if you're hitting left or right or high or low. Do a good job.
It's my favorite basket.
It is.
And not just because I'm on Team Neva. Own makes good for the par putt.
I told her I loved this shirt this morning. I haven't seen that shirt yet. I think it's new, but pretty cool design. So a couple pars, a birdie, and a bogey, and we're headed on to hole number 3.
Practice. It's the difference between good and great. Distractions are obstacles. Eliminate them and see how far you can go.
Hole 3, a shorty coming in at 196 feet, a par 3 that's playing an uphill turnover hidden behind this dead tree. You do have to get some tight gaps on the way there, but there's several of them to take. I prefer a putt and approach or a mid. That's very flippy.
Yeah, this is a fun little hole to throw. Have to be careful with the wind coming up on the hill there, but main thing, just hitting that middle gap and hopefully having something understable enough to take you back to the right side.
And Own takes one of the larger gaps over on the left side with a forehand, and she's up there in circle 1.
Yeah, and that's just something you're going to see a lot today. Very hard to get a skip that you want out here. Sandy sneaking it through. She's going to be probably maybe right around circle 1's edge. Stephanie having a rough start hitting a few of those trees. I'm sure she'll get things going here. We got a few holes in a second that kind of open up a little bit.
Stephanie chips up with a putter, and she'll have a drop-in par.
And as long as you have a gap, if you do hit early, oh, such a great bid. A lot of these holes are short enough you can still save par. Holly over the log, beautiful putt. 25 maybe?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Great start.
And Own getting a birdie as well here on the 3rd.
Almost knocking the basket over. They're going to have to rebolt that.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Stephanie makes good for the par, as does Sandy.
Hole number 4, 349 feet. This is still a par 3. I find that the tendency with this incline sloping hill right to left really hyzers things out quite a bit. So you want to throw something understable, try to keep it as much on the right side as possible, and try to get as far down the fairway as you can. What are you throwing here, Holly?
Star Roadrunner.
Of course. The go-to.
And I'm just looking to get it up there for a putt. I'm not really looking for a park job. I'm
That's
more concerned about hitting the gap all the way to the pin.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot where you landed. I think that's kind of where a good shot funnels to most of the time. I'm getting caught up right there towards the end. I tried in practice to even kind of sneak a hyzer just to try to stay in the middle when the disc finished, and it's too tight on that side. Pretty difficult to do. Stephanie trying it as I talk about it, and yeah, it's really hard. I think the wind coming over the hill there really smashes you down, so it's better just to go ahead and let the disc hyzer off and then try to make that putt up the hill. Good approach.
Stephanie's up there within 15 feet for her par.
And as you see Sandy trying to adjust her feet there, footing on this course can be very difficult at times. A lot of standstills, difficult to run up on any second shot.
And Own decides to lay it up.
Oh, I wanted to see. Oh, almost came back off the tree. That would have been a bonus birdie for sure. I always love hitting this one. That's a very difficult hole to hit, I think, out here for us.
And that's exactly what I said to Noah, my caddy. This would be a bonus birdie, so I can't, there's no reason to get upset about not making that putt.
No.
Like I said, I was just trying to get in the circle one. I didn't want to try to park it. Looks like a par tee here on the 4th. Hole 5, a par 3 coming in at 300 feet. As with most of this course, you need to find a gap that you feel comfortable with and hopefully execute your shot and give yourself a birdie putt. On this particular hole, I like a hyzer route. That was most successful in practice, but also, as with most of the holes here, they've really designed it well for the lefties and forehand players.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite holes out here just because it is wide open left or right. And maybe not wide open, but there's a very clear line for both right hand or left-handed throwers. And there's quite a bit of times with the left to right wind here that I pick the turnover line. So it's kind of 50-50. I kind of step up with both disc and just kind of feel which way I want to go. Both sides I think are very approachable to get up there to the basket.
I think that's a great design element of this course. It doesn't feel that it's leaning one way or the other.
Right.
It's well balanced. Sandy's up there in circle 1 for a birdie look.
Ooh, this looks good. Missed those branches at the end. Nice.
Own for birdie from 75. That's a fun putt when you always get to split the trees like that.
Yeah. Wind picking up, you can hear. Nice tailwind. Kept it high too. That's hard to do.
Sandy acted like there was no wind at all.
And it does die down a little bit for you. Oh, maybe it didn't. Still pushed it out, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that was the wind for sure.
Come on, I tried. Good comeback putt.
Hate to let those close ones slip away, but there's plenty of golf left here.
Long week.
Ohn with a brave bag putt. One shoulder.
Hi, I'm Innova Team Captain Nate Sexton. Welcome to our instructional disc golf series. Maybe even bank over to the right, and that's going to give the putt loft. Slight flex line, so you'll see this come out a little bit higher to give you a variety of different shot shapes. The farthest away player should go first towards the basket.
Hole number 6. This is our first long hole on this course, 548 feet. This is a par 4. You want to try to get down this middle gap as far as possible because everyone's going to be throwing a second shot. So again, footing is going to be rough, so probably a standstill approach. And for the most part, they tend to stay up top. I did see one kind of go down the hill, but this one is still hard to approach, I believe. I think because it's kind of wide open in the middle, I feel like. So I think like the distance of guessing that is hard to really judge.
Sandy takes the straight ahead gap. However, Stephanie is taking this hyzer route over here on the right side.
And I haven't really seen that very often. I've played up here several times already. I like it, especially if there's a strong wind.
There you go. There it is.
Perfect. Misses the branches, gets up there by the log. That's a pretty good, I think, landing area. Wow, that
I don't know if Ohn
smashed
wanted
that
that
down.
shot shape or if that was supposed to flex back.
I feel like that should have flexed back. That really looked like the wind really smashed it down. I would have to say I don't think that was exactly like she planned it, but doesn't matter. Everyone's throwing a second shot. Leaves it just a little bit short, but par 4. And Ohn can always hit one from way out. So there's still a birdie approach for Ohn.
Sandy's second shot, and she gets caught up on the way to the basket, so she'll have to play for par.
I liked how she was really working that though.
Stephanie hits the rangefinder.
And I range, of course, all my shots out here like I always do, but this one still just gets me a lot of the time. It did not with Stephanie, just nailed that distance perfectly.
Did you see that backspin?
It was perfect. I find that so hard to do on this hole. Beautiful approach as well.
Yeah, even nicer.
Bushnell working for everyone out here. Let's see Ohn's little soft approach.
Oh, hits
Little
the
pull
pole.
hit.
She'll have a par putt. Oh
my
Sandy.
gosh. Was she running that?
She does. I told you earlier, she has
Wow.
a conservative, aggressive style where she runs long putts.
Oh, we just bragged about these baskets.
I
I'm so
know.
sorry I jinxed you.
But the truth is,
That was a little hard.
I putted it extremely hard. It was windy and it was a little high. So, I can take responsibility for that. It was 1,000,000 miles an hour.
It was really hard, but that was pretty dead center. Let's dial that down a little bit. Too much spinach.
I mean, the wind was telling me I needed some aggressiveness on it, I'm just reading the wind.
Yes. Well, I hope it stays this calm because this is about the calmest I've ever played it here. Mountains, we tend to get up to 30 to 40 sometimes, and it's, yeah. But wait to scare it. Next time it'll be nice.
Let's check out hole 7, a downhill shorty, par 3, 194 feet. This is such a fun hole. You can possibly just stand still, a putt and approach. You could do a spike hyzer high-speed driver if that's what's going to get you right under the basket. It's just a really fun hole because you kind of just let the disc go and let it move towards the basket. Stephanie Vincent up first. after a birdie on hole 6.
Good standstill. And hitting the line, I think, isn't the hardest part. It's getting the disc to stay put. And Sandi catches up. I was kind of curious to watch her play this because I did, like I said, played with 2 lefties, and this was a hard hole for them. Going wide hyzer, spiking it in, and it stays.
I do like that they left some brush right there around the basket to catch them. And Ohn gets inside circle 1.
Yeah, a few of these hills are pretty scary, even for standstills. Very well played.
Sandi taking no time at all and puts it within 3 or 4 feet.
And that's a scary throw downhill. It's really going to go far if you don't put it right where you need to.
And I'm not sure if Ohn was going for that or just going...
I feel like Ohn is always going for it, so I'm going to say
right,
yes.
Especially after I saw her just do the fakie.
That one hurts a little.
Headwind lifted her putt just a couple inches too much.
Such a good drive. We actually had one roll away and one almost OB on this hole. So even though it's short, it's a very technical hole that even on the putting can be very dangerous. So we're going to tap out some pars and head over to hole number 8. And we came downhill, so now we get to go uphill.
It's a new shirt for Ohn.
It is. Hole 8. Now we're going 183 feet uphill. I thought this was much longer than that. It plays a lot longer than that. Par 3. Got to hit that gap perfectly. Let that disc hyzer off at the end. Up on the top of this little hill / mountain. Lots of lava rock everywhere surrounding this hole. It's like once you hit the gap and then it's like, okay, wait, slow down. Hitting this initial gap is pretty tricky. Holly does it perfectly. She loves playing in the woods, and that is a great drive.
Stephanie Vincent up second.
Follows you perfectly.
Perfect, aimed right at Conrad. Inching just one disc closer.
I love aiming at him too. Our lefties had trouble with this hole. Sandi plays it quite a bit better.
Yeah, she snuck through the gap and she's got a birdie look. OhnScoggins rounding out the order here. She gets it up and over the hill, hyzers in, and CTP on the hole.
You guys played this excellently, made it look easy. Yeah, our lefties tried to kind of flex it, and that was very difficult, so... Sandi trying to cut through there. I like the play. Almost makes it up and gives it such a great bid again. She gets all the stickers for that little medal game. Lot of chain. Little left.
Well, you just can't have them all, Jen.
I wanted it for you. Ooh,
Stephanie
sneaks it in.
Right over the nubs.
Wanting that fist bump there. She wants that good magic to get her birdie in as well.
You got to pass it on.
That's right. Keep it going.
Birdie for Ohn, birdie for Stephanie Vincent.
And a couple of tap-in pars. Just like that, that's almost the front 9.
PDGA Event Support Helpline.
We're trying this cool new thing where we have an alligator pit on the 18th green. It's gonna be epic.
I don't think having literal death putts is a good idea.
Okay, I'll consider it. Oh, no, boy, no!
Hole 9, 423 feet, another par 4. There's a couple of different ways you can play this hole. A power player like my commentary partner here could go up and over these trees. The rest of us are going to try to snake between them. The basket is over here on the right side, so if you can get as far as you can off of your drive, just making your second shot that much shorter. Hopefully getting a birdie 3.
Yes. I definitely tried to play it a little too aggressive today. I will not make that mistake next time. Let's see what Stephanie does. She tries to go with the high Annie. And I discovered today you do want it to go ahead and hyzer out like that.
Okay.
For the first time ever, I really tried to get to the green today. And
You
that
went too
right
far
side,
right.
oh my gosh, not a good place to be. So these discs hyzering out to the left is a more open second shot. I had not seen this though, so I did kind of want to see you throw this. That really does penetrate quite a ways up there.
And Sandy with more of a low line and a similar gap.
Just so hard because you know you're not going to get a skip. So see, this left side is quite open.
Plenty of room to work with and get
Yep.
an upshot down there for birdie, just like Own did.
It's like she heard us.
Yep. Sandy with some ground action,
yeah.
putting her up there for birdie.
Cutting it close there, but sneaks it up into circle 1.
I'm able to get a putter up there for a birdie look.
That was such a clean release. And a little bit of ground play, but not much. That's going to be right there. Beautiful putt. There's a birdie.
Back on track.
Yeah.
I always have this look of concern on my face. It's so funny to watch myself.
You don't feel like you look like that out there?
No.
Ooh, Sandy sneaks one in as well. She almost looked like she was tiptoeing up there, like she was like,
You
she was
kind of do
actually
have
just
to-
walking in the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she looked like she was kind of like sneaking up, like she got it in, just barely.
Now, if Own gets this, we'll have a star birdie frame.
Wow,
Because
that is,
there
I
are
think,
4
pretty.
pointed stars.
I think that's pretty rare out here. That's a very well played, and way to end the front 9.
Let's take a look at the results so far. OhnScoggins coming in at 15 under par, Stephanie and myself at 12 under par, and Sandy sitting at 9 under.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the front 9 of the second round.
This is my first time here in Flagstaff, and we hope you guys hang out with us for the back 9.